The role of a sniper has always been my preferred playstyle that I lean towards, and ever since last year, playing as a sniper build has actually been viable within Fallout 76. However, when I switched over to being a sniper, I never really did a proper test to see what weapon is actually the best as a sniper rifle, so that's what I'm doing today. My first step was to craft all the weapons that I want to compare. I basically just went into the crafting menu and made everything. Just every range weapon I can think of where I'm like, yeah, this could feasibly be a sniper. Doesn't even need to be a rifle, there's a few pistols thrown in, a few heavy weapons that can have scopes on as well. And yeah, I just figured, let's compare all of them to see which really fits the role the best of being a high accuracy, long range, super high damage weapon. The second step then was to mod them all out, and at this point I did have to delete a fair few weapons that just couldn't get scopes on them. The rule really is that it just needs a scope and needs to fire a projectile. That's about it. I did also omit the missile launcher, although I do believe it can technically have a scope, but I'm not including missile launcher. Just deal with it. The one big note that I do have on this whole modding point are that the true stocks and barrels, the one that say like true long barrel or whatever, they tend to be the best for snipers. So if you were worried about that, then true tends to be the way to go. Aligned and then stabilised is probably how I'd rank the different modifications. It's really just a case of maxing damage, then range, then all the other stuff you can worry about. And now it's on to comparing the weapons, and first off I want to compare damage on a character that has no perks to boost anything. This is a character where I just lowered the special as much as I could, got rid of all the perks, and also for all of this testing I won't be showing any legendary effects. I will touch on them a bit later, but I wanted this just to be a balanced test where everything was just base model. Admittedly the highest level of base model, but just base model. So on the damage ratings, coming in at 5th place is the harpoon gun. This is stupid, but I really love that this made the 5th place spot, and this is why I'm doing the top 5 more so than like top 3 or top 4. So this weapon actually does have really great bleed over time damage, so if you're wanting to be a sniper build that also is good for dealing with monsters and large things, then a harpoon gun's not a terrible shout. Unfortunately it can only have a short scope, so it only barely passes like the minimum qualifications for a sniper rifle, but technically this is the 5th best sniper in terms of base damage. Into 4th place we have the refined 50 cal sniper rifle. Yeah, the one that's the namesake of the entire thing is only coming in 4th in terms of damage. This is your classic hunting rifle, works exactly how you expect a sniper rifle to in every way, and it's what I've been using most of the time. I have a legendary version of this with just like aristocrats, and that's enhanced and something on it as well. This is like my go-to sniper, but it's only 4th in terms of damage. That's the classic hunting rifle that only makes it to the 4th place spot. And in at 3rd place is the pipe bolt action rifle. Yeah, with almost 50 points more base damage than the default sniper, and better VATS accuracy, and better AP cost. If you're like a VATS-based sniper, this weapon's amazing, and it's a pipe weapon. Pipe weapons are kind of notoriously kind of bad. They're kind of meant to be, you know, they're the basic ones that everyone can start out making, but in this case it happens to be kind of one of the best snipers around. From testing this weapon, I can tell you that the big downside is the recoil, which is horrible to deal with. If you're manually aiming, you're going to have the gun shooting up into the sky after you've fired your shot. So actually keeping an eye on the target is a bit of a challenge. Also the range is a little less than ideal. It's clearly not a short range weapon, but it doesn't have quite as high a range as some of the other classic sniper models. Overall though, it is a surprisingly good weapon that made it way higher on the list than I thought it ever had a chance to. In at 2nd place is the Brotherhood Recon Rifle. So this weapon, which you can acquire if you've done like a lot of the main quest stuff and gone to Fort Defiance and like messed around with the terminals and stuff, you unlock the ability to craft this, and what it is just a hunting rifle. It's basically a hunting rifle with preset mods and whatever, but you can change the mods. So what it actually is just a hunting rifle with higher base damage, which seems amazing. Seems like it's just objectively better than the hunting rifle. It's the 2nd highest damage, it's just really, really good. It's a great choice. The problem is, this is the only weapon I tested that can't have legendary effects on it. So you can't add on Instigating or Aristocrats or Bloodied if you're a Bloodied build, which does mean that while this is technically the 2nd place in terms of damage out of all the snipers, that's only if you don't have legendary effects. The second you can give like a 50% boost with aristocrats or whatever, then everything we've listed before that will overtake this weapon. Still, very interesting to see it up here. And in first place, we have the Dom Pedro rifle. This thing does drastically more damage than any of the others. However, the range and accuracy aren't that great. Like, it's decent, it's enough to still qualify as a sniper. It does also only take a medium scope as opposed to a long one, so super long range is never going to work, but for mid-range sniping, this is really good. On top of this, it has some amazing mods and effects, so you have exploding and penetrating bullets, and a chance to regen ammo, which, just look at all the effects on this thing, it's ridiculous, it's kind of overpowered. Problem is, if you even want to make this into a sort of sniper rifle, then you'll have needed to unlock it and the mods from the seasonal stuff. This is the scoreboard, the standard scoreboard we're on now for like a week or so more, I want to say. It's real close to ending. You can unlock the Dom Pedro and some basic mods. And the Tough Love, I think it was, seasonal event thing, which happened a week or so ago, which just ended, was the only way to get the scopes. So, how/when/if you can unlock this stuff in the future is kind of all up in the air. The Dom Pedro is technically the most powerful sniper rifle, but only if you've already unlocked all the limited time mods for it, which does make it a real asterisk on there. Now, after doing this whole test with all my special stats lowered and no perks equipped, I decided to test on my actual sniper build here, which I also modified slightly to help max out damage with energy weapons and whatnot, just so I could really see how it all works. And it turns out, the ranking stayed exactly the same. Yeah, it's the same in 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th place. There was not much of a change. Like, basically the damage doubles for everything, but that's about it. The rest of the footage you'll be seeing is with my maxed out build, but it's really not changed much. One thing of note I do want to acknowledge is I'm not certain how charging weapons work in terms of the damage that's displayed on the value of the weapon card. I don't know if that is the maximum damage it will reach, or if it's a case of you basically need to triple that. Because if you need to triple the maximum damage, then energy weapons are significantly better. Out of all of them, the Ultra Sight Laser Sniper Rifle is probably the best. It's a really good all-rounder, though it doesn't have an option for a suppressor. I didn't include suppressor in any of these, but most of the ballistic weapons have them. But the Ultra Sight Laser Sniper Rifle does seem very good if you want to be an energy-based sniper build. I did in fact make a build like this. You can check it out in my video remaking old Fallout 4 builds, where it was the Brotherhood Sniper, which is technically one of the earliest builds of all on this channel. So check that out if you want to see what a laser-based sniper is like. I also did some other sorting of the snipers, first off by range, which shows you that the Dom Pedro is one of the worst in terms of its max range. However, the best weapon is the Gorse Rifle, with the longest range of them all at over 500. It is ridiculous. The Brotherhood Recon and Hunting Rifle come in behind that at almost 400, which is, yeah, over 100 range difference, which is crazy. We also do get to see here that the scoped lever action rifle has really great range, which I'm a big fan of because I do love that weapon. It was a shame to see that the lever action didn't really make it very high otherwise, but it was nice to see. I also did a final comparison on that's accuracy, where the Gorse Rifle's now back to the bottom, because yeah, the Gorse Rifle is not a good weapon, unfortunately. I really wish it was. It's got crazy good range and okay damage, but it just never seems to be as good as I want it to be. At the top, we do have a bunch of other energy weapons though. It does seem that energy-based sniper builds should be built around VATS, because stuff like the laser rifle and ultrasight laser rifle, if you want to play a VATS-based sniper, just shooting everyone in the head with the VATS system rather than manual aiming, then lasers are a good way to go. They're very VATS efficient, low AP cost, high accuracy, seems much better than a ballistic weapon, though of course you do not get a suppressor. Now overall, while the Dom Pedro can seem like the best, with it being the huge damage weapon that it is and having lots of fancy effects like penetrating and explosive, I do think that the lower range, the fact you only get a medium scope, and that it's a scoreboard reward for itself and the mods, means it's not the best overall in my personal opinion. It's great if you have it and have everything unlocked, but still not the best sniper in terms of overall goodness. In my opinion, the Brotherhood Recon Rifle is the best if you don't have any legendary effects. If you're playing a character that for some reason just isn't adding legendary effects onto their weapons, or maybe you're just testing sniping out and you don't have the currency like the script on the modules in order to build legendary effects, then the Brotherhood Recon Rifle's a really good one to go for. After that, I'd say the Pipe Bolt Action is the best at the very start of the game. You can craft it like immediately. The recoil is terrible, but if you're using that sniping, then it's not too bad to deal with. It's a surprisingly good weapon, and I did not expect it to be anywhere near the runnings here. The Ultrasight Laser Rifle is the best for energy sniper builds, and if you can stack your intelligence with the science perk and build around bats a little, then I think you could make this weapon really, really good. Like if you focus on maxing out intelligence in every way possible, this could be deadly. The Lever Action Rifle, despite being in the middle of the rankings for most of this stuff, is really good for speed sniping. It's very fast and snappy, so if you're looking to just go bang, 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 and shoot a bunch of targets all at once, especially ones that aren't crazy strong, then the Scoped Lever Action Rifle is great for that. Ultimately though, the good old hunting rifle is the best for just classic sniping. It does everything you expect out of a sniper rifle. It's easy to aim, there's a decent tempo of shots, modding it's quite easy as well, it accepts legendary effects. It just works. It's a good sniper, it's got very high damage, fire rate's terrible, which you expect, but the accuracy and the range are all there, it's got all the mods you can want from it. Overall, I do think the hunting rifle is the best for just a generic sniper build. And that means I'm keeping my build exactly as it is. It was interesting to see how different weapons worked out here. Do feel free to leave questions or comments below. I'm sure a lot of you will have tried different weapons for sniping, and I'd love to hear what they're like. But for now, it's going to be it for the video. I know how to do outros. I'm still a little bit ill. For anyone wondering, I'm almost better, but I wanted to make this just as an easy video while I get over the last of my sickness. But hey, hopefully you enjoyed. Hit the like button, subscribe for stuff. Character builds will be coming again soon. As always, thanks for watching. Sarge out.